County Sheriff's Department has released the body cam footage of the shooting death of a Lancaster woman. 27-year-old Niani Finlayson was killed by a deputy after she called 911 to report that her ex-boyfriend had tried to strangle her.
And Eyewitness News reporter Michelle Fisher is live in the newsroom with a shocking new video on this story. Michelle?
Well, David and Giovanna, a little more than 3.5 weeks ago, this fatal deputy shooting occurred. The Sheriff's Department today releasing the 911 audio and that body camera footage from the December 4th incident in the name of transparency. A warning that the footage you're going to see may be disturbing to some. 27-year-old Niani Finlayson shot and killed by an LA County Sheriff's deputy. The fatal encounter coming after she'd been the one to call them for help minutes earlier.
Yes, hello. I need the police here. This man, he won't get out of my house now.
Finlayson heard here making that frantic 911 call shortly after 6 on December the 4th, asking for help at the Cedar Ridge Apartments in Lancaster.
Yeah, I need the police here right now. No, because he won't get his hands off of me.
This body camera footage showing deputies responding to the domestic disturbance, hearing yelling from inside, then attempting to force entry into the apartment. Finlayson eventually opening the door with a large kitchen knife in her hand.
Yeah, I'm understanding because
You can see weapons drawn as the deputies enter the unit. The deputy in front handing her colleague a taser as they step inside and first encounter Finlayson's 9-year-old daughter. We're freezing the video because of the disturbing nature, but within a matter of seconds, as Finlayson turns towards her boyfriend with a knife in the living room, the officer with a taser draws his service weapon and opens fire, striking Finlayson multiple times.
No, drop it! Why did you shoot?
That question, top of mind for many as the community gets a first look at the footage made public today. LA County Sheriff Robert Luna saying in a statement, quote, the department released the body-worn camera footage ahead of the legal time frame to demonstrate our commitment to transparency and the visual representation of the facts in this case. As the comprehensive review process continues, the department will gain additional insight into the incident with the goal of improving public safety. And per California law, body-worn camera footage from a...
Okay, Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Wakak Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone, and salutation you Akim out there that push his word in truth and in sincerity. You saw the video. This lady was irate. She called the cops, but she's yelling and screaming all irate. And when the police opened, and then when she opened the door, she got a big-ass butcher knife in her hand. What do you think is going to be the response of police? You got a fucking weapon in your hand, and you, admittedly, you said it, I'm going to stab him. And then you turn to your ex-boyfriend and tries to stab him, and that's when police cut you down. Now, I pose this question. Did she, cause her own death? Being irate and all emotional, not thinking. You called the police. Why are you going to open a door with a knife? That's going to prompt police to get on the defensive side, because you could be coming at them. You see, she wasn't thinking because she was filled with she was filled by emotions. She wasn't logically thinking like, all right, I called the cops, they coming. Now if I open the door with a knife in my hand, it's going to prompt them to get on the defensive side and come at me, even though I called police. But on the spiritual way of thinking, the Most High underlived her because she was outright wicked. She probably was a promiscuous woman. Who knows? She probably was committing adultery. Who knows? But the Lord put her to death and used cops as a spirit of vengeance to do it. And lately, the Lord been unaliving a lot of people, mainly a lot of women, do police. Sonia Massey. First, this chick, this happened in December, Sonia Massey. It's crazy. And a lot of people don't understand that We in the last times. All kind of spirits will be out there, right along with spirits of vengeance. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 39, verse 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made him. Who made them? The Father of spirits, Yahweh. And they're going to appease him. When the anger of the Lord is kindled on a particular individual or nation of people, he brings his wrath upon them. It says, verse 29, fire and hell and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance, teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword. The modern day sword is the gun. She had a big ass knife in her hand. And clearly you can see she had a big ass knife in her hand, all irate, all emotional, not thinking. And you doing all this in front of your 9-year-old daughter. You doing all of this extracurricular activity in front of your daughter. Fighting, screaming, yelling, pulling out knives. What kind of example you setting for your daughter? Nonetheless, police came in. She looked like she's the aggressor. She got the knife. Then she told police that she's going to stab him. After they told her to put the knife down. Yeah, I'm going to stab him. All emotional. Then she turns to stab him right in front of the police. What do you think is going to happen? It says, verse 30, teeth of wild beasts and scorpions and serpents punishing, teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword punishing the wicked to destruction. They shall rejoice in his commandments, and they shall be ready upon earth when need is. And it said, and when the time is come, they shall not transgress his word. The time came that the Lord put an end to this woman. Do police. The Lord put a spirit of vengeance on the police to carry out the execution of that woman. Now the people in her community, which I don't like saying that word, the people in her neighborhood is going to be all up in arms with their panties in a bunch because they unalived her. But if you clearly look at the footage, she was all irate and emotional and about to commit an act of violence in front of police. In front of police. You can't make this up. That's why when you fueled by emotions, it could cost you. 5 seconds fueled by emotions could cost you a lifetime of pain or can cause you to lose your life. 5 seconds. It's all it takes to get emotional and do something drastic and it changes your life or in your life. But you got to understand something. That woman wasn't innocent. Whatever she did in her previous life or in this life, the Lord judged her for it. That was judgment from the Lord. Bottom line, that was judgment from the Lord. This is Job chapter 4, verse 7. Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off? Even as I have seen, they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same. I don't know what she was doing, but the Lord put an end to her life by using police. The very same people she called on her boyfriend, her ex-boyfriend, backfired on her and she wound up being judged. And the dude he was kind of shocked. He was like, yo, why'd you shoot? Because she's lunging at you with a knife, nigga. And they told her repeatedly to drop the weapon. She was fueled by so much emotion that she didn't even listen or regard what they were saying. So in all reality, had she would have connected with that knife, She could have aimed for your neck, your chest. She could have unalived you. But he's screaming, why'd you shoot? But she was about to do you something real vicious like. Crazy. Verse 8, even as I have seen, they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same. By the blast of Yahweh they perish. The Lord used that cop to do an end. It says, by the blast of Yahweh they perish, and by the breath of his nostrils are they consumed. She got consumed by multiple bullets because she wasn't thinking straight, being fueled by emotions. She wasn't thinking straight. And now she's in the spirit world, in her right mind. And you left your daughter scarred because it happened right in front of her. You running amok with a knife, acting a fool, all emotional, right in front of your daughter. Right in front of your daughter. Shit is crazy. And she seen the police had drawn their guns. First they had tasers out, then he drew his service pistol. Because she would not drop the weapon. They could have tased her. They could have tased the shit out of her. But that was judgment coming upon her from the Lord. They could have tased her. She would have definitely dropped the weapon then. But that was judgment coming upon her from the Lord. This is Job chapter 19, verse 29. Be ye afraid of the sword, for wrath bringeth the punishments of the sword. And you see they had drawn guns, tasers out, and you still lunge at your ex-boyfriend with a knife. After they done repeatedly told you to drop the knife. What do you think is going to happen? Especially if you turn to your ex-boyfriend or husband, whoever the hell he is to you, and lunge at him. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think the police is going to do? You got to think. This is back in Job chapter 29, chapter 19, verse 29, Salakia. It says, be ye afraid of the sword, for wrath bringeth the punishments of the sword, that ye may know there is a judgment. And that was judgment brought upon her from the Lord. Let me read it again so it can sink in. Be ye afraid of the sword. When you see cops got drawn swords, hey, a soft answer turneth away wrath, roughly paraphrasing that scripture. A soft answer turneth away wrath. They telling you to drop the goddamn weapon. Why can't you just drop the weapon? You caused your own self to get put to death, man. Even though it was judgment, the spirit of vengeance was there. The judgment was set that you was going to go out like that. But you kind of fueled on the police even more. Be ye afraid of the sword, for wrath bringeth the punishments of the sword, that ye may know there's a judgment. And that was judgment brought upon this woman, man. There's no doubt, no ifs, ands, or buts. When you thinking on the spiritual mind, that was the judgment of the Lord. You thinking on the carnal mindset, you're going to be like, oh, like he said, why'd you shoot? Because she was about to stab you. She was about to stab the shit out your bitch ass. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. That was judgment from the Lord. First Samuel chapter 2, verse 6. The Lord killeth and maketh alive. He bring down to the grave and he bringeth up. Straight to the point. The Lord killeth and maketh alive. He bring down to the grave and bringeth up. Straight to the point. That was judgment from the Lord, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. Can't make it up. It's unfortunate it happened, but that was judgment. It's unfortunate that that happened to that lady in front of her daughter. But being irate and not thinking and fueled by emotions Then you open the door with a goddamn gun. I mean, with a goddamn big ass butcher knife in your hand. And the cop tell you multiple times to drop the weapon. And then you said, I'm going to stab him. Then proceed to try to stab him. Oh, God. Oh, man, bro. You can't make that shit up, man. You can't make it up. You can't make it up. That was judgment from the Lord, and that's that, man. You can't make it up. It's over with. She's dead. She's in a spirit but in her right state of mind. Her daughter is scarred, and there you have it. This is Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 39. See now that I, even I am he, and there's no God with me. I kill, and I make alive. I wound, and I heal. Neither is there any that could deliver out of my hand. You see? The Lord had his eyes and his mind to delete this woman, to bring judgment upon this woman. No matter what happened, she was gone. For I lift my hand to heaven and say, I live forever. Verse 41. If I wet my glittering sword and my hand take hold on judgment, I will render vengeance to my enemies and will reward them that hate me. I don't know this woman's background, what she was into, whether she did something harsh in this life or in her previous life. The Lord brought forth judgment on this woman. And there's going to be more judgments coming down the pipe. We're in a time of judgment. We're in a time of war. We're in a time where the Lord is visiting the world. It is what it is. Her daughter is scarred for seeing her mother get shot multiple times. That's always going to be a part of her now. It's always going to be embedded in her mind, engraved in her mind. And her mother's in the spirit world. Oh, it's a tragic thing. I'm not mocking the woman. It's a tragic thing that happened. But she could have been more calm. After all, she did call the police. Would you think they was going to be on your side with the knife? Sometimes you got to think. And she wasn't thinking because she was filled by emotions. Shalom.